time!
Are you ready?
Yo!
Get ready, get ready! Get ready!
Get ready! Get ready!
So, the reports are true. There's been a big leak saying that the next installment of the Tomb Raider franchise is currently being developed. And it's going to be developed on the Unreal Engine. Guess where it's going to be set? Yeah, in India. We're getting it set in India. And apparently it's going to be fully open world. So, seems like the Lara Croft, Nathan Drake franchises are about to clash once again. So, what we're going to be doing today is breaking down the sort of rumors which is circulating around social media about this new development of the Tomb Raider series. I'm talking about Uncharted and how Uncharted and kind of the Tomb Raider series have kind of clashed, and my thoughts on playing both of the games finally and kind of giving a semi-neutral opinion, because I do love both of the games and I am a big Lara Croft fan as well, but also a Nathan Drake fan as well. So let's get into it. So it seems like the sort of storyline is going to be kicking off through a natural disaster, most likely probably like an earthquake, because in northern India they normally have like maybe earthquakes here and there. Basically, they're revealing that's going to be an ancient ruins and artifacts tied to the realm of an empire called, I'm going to try and pronounce this properly, Shioka, or Ashoka. Yeah, Ashoka. Ashoka, which is a real historical figure, actually. Lara Croft will be basically racing against a competitive group called the Society of Raiders, who are inspired by Lara and obviously the opposed agendas regarding to powerful relics. There's information saying that there's going to be obviously new traversal features, so I'm assuming it's going to be like the motorcycle, parachutes. Players will be able to freely use the motorcycle, freely be able to use the parachute as well, which sounds pretty cool, kind of having that open world motorcycle sort of Croft, which we kind of had in the OG game. There'll be non-lethal combat as well, which is very interesting to hear. There's rumor that there'll be a greater emphasis on that sort of non-lethal strikes and takedowns. So I guess if you want to do a passive run, a genocide run, then that's obviously an option. They also mentioned that there's going to be an ally system, which I don't know how that's going to work. But apparently the game's featuring an ally system where you can recruit allies to your team, strategically aid Lara in missions, challenges, potentially into rivalry, which is obviously going to be connected to the, Society of Raiders. While all this information does sound exciting, it's mostly important to remember that they're unconfirmed leaks. And these are obviously outside like the sort of sources of Crystal Dynamics, which has obviously been taken and used by Amazon Games, which is suggesting that obviously this is all in the air, but at this point, it's all he say at this point. It's been a while since we've kind of gotten a Lara Croft game. The last one I played was obviously Rise of the Tomb Raider and... No, sorry, not Rise. Shadow. Shadow of Tomb Raider, which I enjoyed. Compared to all of them, I do prefer Rise. Just because there was a lot more like sort of guerrilla tactics. A lot more strategic ways of playing the game. And I really like the sort of the mechanics on when you can do the mini games and such. Overall, I think that game was much better than the latest one. And ever since that, Square Enix has kind of gave up their Crystal Dynamics IP, I was annoyed because I love the Tomb Raider series. And maybe this is probably he say information, but I feel like Square Enix sold off that IP solely just to kind of recomp of like FF titles, kind of losing budget. Because yeah, it wasn't doing well, Crystal Dynamics, but I wouldn't say it was in the gutter like Marvel. That in my opinion, I feel like it wasn't. There is obviously still a big fan base of the Tomb Raider series, the Croft sort of franchise, and I feel like them selling it off, I don't know if it was a worthy strategic move. What do you guys think? Do you think it was a good move? But in my opinion, we haven't had a game in ages now, and I'm just itching to play a game. But for the Uncharted fans right now, What are you guys' thoughts on the Croft series? Because I have friends who are heavy Nathan Drake fans, and we always keep going back and forth on what's the best game and what is not. Like, it even got to the point where obviously they kind of gaslight me to play the other games, the Uncharted series, like 1, 2, 3. And I have to admit, I have to concede that those games are actually, on paper, they actually are better than Tomb Raider. Just in terms of this Drake being Drake. Like, because if you was to replace Croft with another male character, it will feel like it will play the same. Especially that how they've kind of stripped off the lore of Croft, of Lara, when they did the reboot. They kind of made her like a fresh slate. So it was kind of like a innocent girl. Well, not so innocent, but kind of like an adventurer, archaeologist. And she kind of gets into this situation where, you know, she's a victim to almost, you know, I'm not going to say the word. And then she kind of has to fight for her life, and then she gets her first body and so forth. You know, she's on an island with all her friends, and then you got Kimiko. You know, it's a big story. So it kind of shows that the sort of Croft franchise, the Lara Croft franchise, is kind of taken it's rewinded itself. It's rewinded itself, and it's starting fresh. We're not getting this sort of, I don't want to say badass, but she kind of had that aura like in Underworld and etc. She had that type of aura that it was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. But then with the sort of the last three titles we played, she seems a bit unassured of herself. The convictions are there more or less on the last game, but I feel like that's because she just got pushed to that edge. She's not that 007 sort of archetype, which people used to remember, you know, her being in the early to late 2000s. But in my opinion, it's not that bad. I don't mind it at all. And obviously with the Uncharted series, you know, Naughty Dog did say that it is going to, that's it with the Uncharted series. Who knows, they might drop a reboot, or they might continue the franchise with the daughter, which would be crazy, because if Nathan Drake's daughter ends up becoming similar to her, like an adventurer, an archaeologist, it would be interesting to kind of see the two sort of franchises and see who would be better. If she has anything like Nathan Drake's like sort of prowess or perks, then she's going to be undefeatable. What do you guys think of the leaks right now, which is kind of circulating social media right now? Would you pick up the game at this point? Are you guys done with the Tomb Raider series? Are you hoping that Uncharted is going to just overtake it at this point? I'm guessing the people who are watching this video are either Tomb Raider fans or Uncharted fans, based off the conversation which is going on right now. So let me know in the comments if you're an Uncharted fan or a Tomb Raider fan. And yeah, if you like the video, just hit me a like. I'm a small creator, so, you know, one like goes a long way compared to, you know, subscribing. You don't need to subscribe. Who knows, I'll maybe see you in another video. But take care, guys. Peace.